Let's talk about justifying maintenance staffing levels. In the past couple of years, this has become a very hot topic for everybody in the facility and manufacturing world as well, but you see it a lot in the facility world. Every time someone retires or someone leaves the company, how do you justify a replacement? We all want another person. We hate to reduce the size of our crew, and most of us in the maintenance world think we're understaffed, and we'll talk about that here in a couple minutes. So how do you justify, how do you explain to management that you truly need to replace that person? 20, 30 years ago, we would just go in and say, well, we're budgeted for 30 people. We had 2 retire, so now we need to hire 2 more, and everybody would say, okay, that's fine. That doesn't work anymore in this economic climate that we're in. You've got to go back and justify, why do we need these 2 new people? What are they going to do? What's the return on investment to the organization? So the key to knowing this and to be able to answer this question to your upper management is to look at your entire organization and have the benchmarks and the measurements in place so you can explain exactly what a reduction in manpower is going to do to the performance of your maintenance group. And some of the key things there to being able to justify that is to have all the data for currently how you're running your maintenance business. Things like very accurate work orders, accurate hours on every work order, all the fields filled in on your work order, so you have craft distribution, so you have types of work orders, you have statuses of work orders, you have fault codes for what happened when pieces of equipment failed or broke. You have to have all this data, and once you have it, now you can create some very good measurements like backlog. How much work is in a pile of deferred work waiting to be done? How much of your work is planned? How much of your work is scheduled? How much work are you, how many hours are you spending on electrical work, on mechanical work, on HVAC work? And if you put all these different measurements together, you can start to create a very good picture of what these additional 2 people can do for you. Or on the negative side, if you don't have these 2 people, what is it going to do to your organization? How is it going to affect customer service? How is it going to affect response time and things like that? So the key to justifying manpower is to know and be able to explain your process of how you're currently running maintenance. And if you don't know it, if you can't explain it, if you can't put it on paper or into a PowerPoint or a graph and show it to management, you're going to have a very, very difficult time justifying why you need to replace people or justifying additional staff levels or keeping staff levels from being reduced arbitrarily by your management team.